You are about to listen to the Neverdaily podcast.
This is the biggest thing since the Zapruder film.
So many questions.
I don't have any answers.
But please don't stop listening
to the Neverdaily podcast.
Girl, put your podcast on. It's time to sing our song.
Your
It's
street and a
Never-
Range Rover, boom, boom, baby.
Neverdaily podcast.
Shimmy, shimmy, cocoa bar. It's a two-minute.
Can't turn my operator
Take a
into
walk back.
skate all over your earballs.
Go
Yeah.
down, baby. Your street and a Range
Stuck in a pit.
Baby.
What
Ready
did
to
I
let
just
it
grab?
go.
What is that? Maybe that's a
Something.
dinosaur bone.
Something Cocoa Puffs. I like cereal. Something.
You know, it used to be called Sugar Smacks before it was Honey Smacks, before it's just now Smacks. Weird.
What's your best cereal? What's your favorite cereal?
My go-to is
You got one
Cheerios.
cereal. They're making all the other cereals disappear. It's one cereal for the rest of the world because of economy reasons.
My go-to is Cheerios because I do feel like
That is
eating
the
that much.
most
But
upsetting
I-
answer that you could have possibly given outside of like maybe Wheaties. If you had said
but I
Wheaties.
feel like it's like a roto-rooter for your heart, so that's why I eat it. Plus, I do when it comes to certain, I would say across the board, I'm pretty close to like whatever a prison would feed you. Like I like gruel, slop. You know, I'm the guy that I'll like. I'll make a bowl of soup, but no, it's not just soup. I'll do cream of mushroom soup, which I think you're supposed to just use as like an additive in a recipe. But I'll make a bowl of cream of mushroom soup and then fill it with a whole sleeve of saltine crackers. So I'm basically eating Roman concrete.
yeah, you just have very British taste buds. You're satisfied with a lump of beans on a piece of dry toast for breakfast. Just prefer your meals to be brown and unseasoned.
But then couple that with, if you give me an unlimited supply of soda, how many times, if you had added the phrase, don't mind if I do, every time I drank a soda at the beach, how many times would you have heard, don't mind if I do?
Every time, all of the times.
Yeah,
It's
pretty
your
much.
favorite thing. And you'll say it to yourself in the kitchen, even if nobody, like if you're sitting on the couch watching TV and you hear it go, because the beach house, you know, the kitchen and the living room were connected. So you could like hear things. You'd hear the fridge door open and to himself, oh, don't mind if I do.
It's true.
Like it's your way of somehow in your head, you think the calories don't count if you say that beforehand. Don't mind if I do. Like whenever I eat things above the sink looking out my kitchen window, those calories don't count.
Because you feel like you're doing something productive by looking out.
Or like if your kids don't finish whatever you made for them, like say it's a grilled cheese sandwich or something, and if you finish that and you're at the sink looking out the window in the kitchen, those calories, they don't go anywhere.
My wife sends me a picture yesterday of it's like a two column picture. The left side is this beautiful plate with like one of those like, you know, cookie cutter hole punch like bear shapes out of the middle of the sandwich, and it's like my child's meal, and it's got like grapes on it, and a couple nuts, and this like bear shaped sandwich, you know, you've punched out of the middle of it, and it's just so cute. And then on the right hand side, it's like my meal, and it just shows the bread.
Yeah.
With the bear shape punched out of it.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. My wife has a reflex. It's like she's like a robotic arm in a manufacturing plant for cars. And at some point during every meal, she just what? And just grabs my daughter's semi-eaten plate and just puts it in front of me. Like I'm the disposal. And one time we were at a restaurant with some friends, and she did this, drops it in front of me. And our friends go, You know that's why he's gaining weight, right? like I'm not even there. Like we're talking about like why my engine sounds bad. You know you need to put oil in it, right? Like I'm not even there. They're like, that's why that circle over the big circle human over there, that's why he's big, because you keep
You've actually lost weight.
I have. I'm in the low 230s now.
That's good, man. I can tell. You look good. You look good and fuckable.
I'm thinking I'm not quite sure that I'm on the right path, though.
You don't have like fuckable titties anymore. Like before, you could probably, if a man wanted to, you could push your hairy tits together and slide a penis between them. But you definitely could not, and get like semen in your hair of your chest. But you could not definitely do that now.
I don't have a hairy chest, so
Let me see.
Hmm?
Let me see.
See,
You don't have a hairy chest.
I have zero hair. My one time, like a while back, when I was like younger, I
It'd be
didn't
easy
know.
to get semen off that chest.
Yeah, wiped off. But I didn't know that, like,
See, semen, I've got like super hairy.
oh, wow, yeah, that'd be like getting peanut butter out of carpet.
It's like so
Whoa.
hairy. And it's gray.
Yeah.
It's gray hair.
Look at that.
Just getting semen out of my chest hair is just the worst. It's like,
You should always make sure you do that before, like, if you were to do that act that you said that I won't repeat,
yeah.
and then didn't clean up well, and then went to a funeral and like hugged a bunch of ladies,
Right.
you could be getting people pregnant without even thinking about it.
I don't think you have even the slightest grasp of how pregnancy happens. I think at the worst, you're just going to be peeling your shirt off your chest. Like a few hours later, like it would be like Velcro, just and probably hair would come with it.
Speaking of semen, we thought we'd do a segment.
Okay. Oh,
See
I'm
how I
cooking
did
for our
that?
children before we do the segment. Because it's summer break, the kids don't have a bedtime. We just let them do what they want. Usually that means they play all day outside in the backyard. And then when it gets dark, they come in and they play on their tablets, Minecraft, Roblox, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I fell asleep on the couch the other night, and like 1 a.m, my 5-year-old, she's like, Dad. And I'm like, what? And she's like, can I have news? And I was like, what? She's like, can I have noodles? What she's asking for is noodles, ramen noodles. Noodles.
Yeah. Noodles.
You ever had to make ramen noodles at 1:30 in the morning, half asleep, just, and then stood eating the leftover ramen noodles, looking out the window into blackness at 1:30 in the morning in your boxers? Just, you ever stood just as a father, just eating noodles? And then she don't eat them. They get cold, and she says, they're cold now. And
But then
I don't like
easier
noodles.
for you. It's easier for you to eat them because as they get cold, they kind of gelatinize, which makes it easier to swallow them for you.
yeah, you can just kind of do the pelican thing where you straighten your head out and they slide down your throat.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they always end up, I don't know about you. The problem I always have with noodles, I don't know if I've got a design flaw. The Lord putteth an extra hole in the back of my neck or something. I always end up with a noodle stuck in my nasal cavity.
Me
So for like the rest of the day, I'm like going, I'm trying to get a noodle out of that hole that goes up into your nasal cavity.
Yeah. Everything, as you walk around all day long, everything smells like beef bouillon.
Yes.
That sucks. Hey, let me ask you this. Am I alone in this one where after the making of macaroni and cheese, sometime within an hour or two after that, you will make your way to the pot with that still has half a helping in it, and you'll hurt the sides of your mouth because you opt to just use the big spoon that was used to stir the mac and cheese together,
Oh, yeah.
but you just force it into your mouth. It's a cooking spoon, so it's too big. But you're just scratching the sides of your mouth, but that's what you've chosen to do to make to reduce the amount of mac and cheese in the pot.
Yes.
Am I alone?
No, you're not. And also by that point, the mac and cheese has turned really. It's just like a mash, kind of. It's a mountain of carbohydrate. It's carbs and cheese. That's really all it is. It's no longer macaroni.
It's like what comes in those dollar store squish toys where it's like goop inside of the clear rubber ball, and every kid's like, look, if you squeeze it, then his eyes pop out.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's like what's inside of that toy.
Do you remember those toys, like what you're talking about, almost when we were kids, but they looked like a prolapsed asshole?
Yeah.
And you could slide them like on your finger and whatever.
A water weenie.
It's
water
like a
weenie.
Sex toy for kids. I feel like it had glitter and stuff
weenie.
in it.
Yeah, and you were supposed to like, it was like, oh, you can't hold on to it, but you could if you gripped it. But if you just let it go a little bit, it'd slide out of your hand, and then it's fun for a total of 4 seconds.
They were very elastic.
Crazy. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I learned a lot about
myself.
As a young fellow.
Fun fact to know and share. Also, Vaseline is it's made of the same stuff that gasoline is made of, and it'll eat right through plastic or rubber like water weenies and stuff like that. Just
what happened in your world where those two things met?
I just heard about it.
Oh. So you got a segment.
This episode brought to you by CookieFriday.com. Check out CookieFriday.com if you want to order some cookies from Las Vegas.
Only on Friday.
Well, you can order them anytime during the week, but they'll ship them out on Friday. Okay. Follow them at Cookie Friday on Instagram and Facebook. If you like cookies and you like Friday, this company was made for you. CookieFriday.com. All right. I thought the first segment that would be fun to do would be voicemails. Should we do voicemails?
Oh, yeah. It's always my favorite. Voicemails are always so nice.
Also, I thought that it would be I didn't
mean to interrupt you, but through this, I don't know why, but my chair's being extra noisy today, so I'm not doing farts. If you hear like a lot of noises, it's not me doing it's not me farts doing farts.
It's not me farts.
Chair.
It's not me farts. It's me chair.
My choice is like making my chair. I don't know if you can even hear it, but it's like not fart. It is not farts.
Can't hear it.
Did you hear that?
Jess, can you hear it? Jess,
it's like I got this chair out of a haunted mansion. That's what it sounds like. Okay, so back to the segment. I'm sorry. Voicemails.
Back to the segment. So I thought we would do some voicemails. Now, here's what everyone should know about voicemails that get sent to us is let me just relate with everybody for a second. Have you ever been listening to a podcast of like one of your favorite podcasters and then you're like, oh man, and you just feel absolutely inspired to reach out to them? Have you ever had that happen? Have you ever had
with Jack Luna all the time?
Yeah, and so you'll listen, you'll be like, I gotta let him know.
Yeah,
how impressed, right? And so you let him know, how amazed you are, how impressed you are with what they've done just recently, kind of thing. And I wanted everybody to, I do it still. Like I do. Like, and here's how bad it is. I know I'm reaching out to people that hate me, and I do it anyway. I'll be like, Mike, bro, episode 146. Man, you're good. Mike. Anyway, hope you're having a good day. And then he never responds.
You should send a voicemail, and when you end the voicemail to him, go, boom, boom.
Oh man, I was admiring something about. So I know his. Well, at least I did. I don't know if he's still there, but I know a couple of his like music producers really well because we talked synthesizers.
Skrillex.
Yeah. But I was admiring that process the other day because if you listen to the show, like like ours is ham-fisted, right? We have an intro, we kind of meander into the episode. Here we are 15 minutes and 8 seconds in, still haven't talked about anything of worth. But he's got it down to where like the music will play for 2 bars. It's like 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And here we are again. It's da 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 da. And you da da da. And then the music comes back in. Like the producer is slotting him in the time signature of the song. And that, that means somebody has to be sitting there actually doing things rather than just not doing things. And yeah, I admire. He's got a good staff. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah,
long staff. Too. I don't know. I don't know.
So he's got a long staff.
Yeah.
Can I say that going off his tweets? I don't think that's true.
You're talking about. So should we listen to a couple voicemails from like really recent?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And now I don't know. I don't know. I haven't listened to these, so I don't know what we're listening to. That's kind of fun, right?
It makes it exciting.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I just realized that I downloaded them all to my downloads folder instead of the folder I wanted to do it to, but whatevs. All right, let's see. Let's listen to this one. I'm just dragging them in. Drag this one in. We'll listen to 3 and then we'll just see how we fare from that.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Okay, here's the first one. And I'm just going to go ahead and push play on it because that's how this works.
Well, this is a very interesting way to do things since you are a 911 call show. But I just wanted to tell you that I just wrote a review. You're the only Patreon I've ever actually supported, and I listen to tons of podcasts because I do not want the show to end. So wanted to tell you that your episode today was amazing, or line 19, I guess it is absolutely amazing. And I really liked how you guys talked about habits and breaking habits and starting up new habits and getting discouraged. Honestly, there's things, because I commute really far from work, but I work in healthcare, and
I think this is from Jack Luna. Jack Luna was on.
Yeah, you know what? I just realized the dates on these were in the order.
I like how you preface this with some recent.
That was actually
calls. That's from literally years ago.
Well, what I was just noticing is the dates on the file downloads were in the order that they downloaded. And so they downloaded the newest one first and then the oldest one last. So I picked the last. So that was the first voicemail we ever received. And I know I've played that one before.
Yes.
So I don't want people to be like, that was the last positive voicemail we ever received was the first one. By the way, over 200 voicemails. That's a lot of voicemails. So, okay, now I'm on the other end.
Half of them are wrong numbers from the same guy that's just drunk trying to order Papa John's.
Half of them are from Denny trying to get us to go to the Fountain app.
The other half are just from drunk Jess. Telling how she really feels. I really fucking hate you guys. I really do.
I know that sometimes you hear me say whore to you guys, but sometimes I mean it. Like right now, I hate you so much.
I fucking hate you. So to do the recording, and then it gets like 15 more minutes, and it's just the room is spinning. I fucking hate you guys.
And if I wasn't stuck in an American Legion drinking beer with my friend Becky, I have a whole lot more to say. But right now, one hand on the phone, the other hand holding Becky's hair back while she barfs all over my new Keds. Whores. All right, here's one that's actually new. Here we go.
Holla, 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 big boys and girl from Houston, Texas, y'all.
My kind of people.
That was it.
That was it. Okay. I was like, really? I thought it was.
I was excited about that.
I was like, here we get. Oh,
all right. Here's the next one.
All right, operator.
Here we go.
And Mr. Chungus.
Yeah.
We shall say. All right, this is the third time I've tried to log in to give you guys some money and reset up a subscription through your site.
Oh. This is a troubleshooting question. It's good content.
All right, operator. And Mr. Chungus.
I'll let this play for a second.
Say. All right, this is the third time I've tried to log in to give you guys some money and reset up a subscription through your site. And it is not going through. So I don't know what the op has done. I'm blaming it on the op, Kent, because I know how he is from past episodes. If you could send me a link or something at...
Okay, I think he was about to give us his email address. So I think this is important for me to say, because here's the thing is, like, people are, I get so many messages when we'll send, we'll bridge the gap between our Patreon supporters and 1159 Plus and be like, hey, one more opportunity to come over to Plus. And I get 3 emails from people. They're like, thanks, how do I do it? I'm like, maybe just, click the link in the message I just sent. And then the other one I get is, never send me an email again, because they canceled like a million years ago, but for some reason they didn't. and then the other one is, I don't hear anything for like 3 or 4 months. And then they'll be like, the link doesn't work. I'm like, well, yeah, because it was a marketing link and we expire them. What if I sent one out that's like, hey, free 1 year for everybody that signs up today, and then you could still click on it like 6 months from now.
It would be hilarious if the rest of the calls you play are just troubleshooting calls. That would really make me giggle.
So on that, if for some reason you have a broken link or you can't get to us or whatever, if you're listening to this, then you're where you want to be probably. But if not, help at 1159media.com and we can help you out, or whatever. I don't know. Figure something out. All right, here's one more. Here's another one.
Okay, I'm going to try and talk really fast because it's a bit of a long story. But I have a 911 call that I was the victim of. So I was...
I think I'm going to we'll skip that one. I don't want to out somebody like that, I do get a lot of those. I'll tell you what. One of my biggest heartbreak distractions that I get is I get a lot of people that are like, my brother was murdered last week.
Yeah.
And can you get a hold of the 911 calls? You wouldn't believe how many listeners we have where there's a thing that just happened, or there's, there's no closure or this. And I do find I want to help. So, I'll be like, okay, well, and so I've kind of got this boilerplate, like, okay, send me everything you can about the following things and I can look into it. And based on their response, then I can normally pretty quickly tell them, okay, there's something I could do here. Maybe find the 911 call. Or oftentimes it's, this is still in the courts.
Yeah, this segment's going really well.
Yeah.
We've played 9 calls. We've only finished 1, and that one call was 8 seconds long and went, what up, Texas?
All right, here's one more, then fine, I'll stop talking. And here we go.
Hey, guys. This message is actually for Jess. Jess, ever since you started on the show, I noticed that when I'm listening, the intro songs are at a seem to have sped up. And I was like, okay, well, maybe she's doing that to save time. And it all sounds the same. It's just a little faster. It doesn't sound like chipmunks or anything. Um, and then I noticed that maybe because I'm Southern too, I can understand Kent's accent clearly, but my husband can't.
I'm
And
not.
I think it's because I had been listening to the podcast at 1 1/4 speed, which I did not realize I was doing. So sorry you can't do that in real life, Jess. It has helped when they get on their tangent. But I have to admit, I love the tangents. It's just what makes the show. Anyway, y'all have a great day. I love the show. Been listening to it for quite a while. And keep up the banter because y'all are hilarious, especially the episode with the moms and Op's mom keeps telling him to stop laughing at Kent, but you just can't help it. Okay, bye.
I love how she pretends she acts like I'm literally speaking another language. My husband isn't Southern, so he didn't grow up speaking our native tongue. So,
Man. Oh, so I have to tell you. So that was Simone. Simone is a dear friend of the show. She's listened for a long time. She is down in the bayou, actually. And I've mentioned her before and I've posted stuff on Facebook, but she has like out of this world art that she does. You might have seen it before. She had an art show not too long ago.
is it Simone Holloway?
No, it's Simone McCrocklin.
McCrocklin.
Yeah, and oh man, she is so sweet. And so I'm trying to see because where is like everybody should go check out what she does. I'm just trying to find her website. But anyway, well, I'll keep looking for it. But she makes these. Oh, there it is. Got it. Okay, check out. Go to portraitofacell.com. That's portraitofacell.com to just get an idea of what this amazing woman makes. Like I look at it and I cannot wrap my head around how she creates this stuff. Anyway, she does a lot. She does a lot of work. Actually, everything you'll find on that gallery has been sold, but amazing.
Oh wow, this is cool.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like I don't even know how she does it. And and some of these pieces are big. They're big. It's very neat. She works with kids. She messaged me the other day. This was kind of funny. She's like, I think we have the same Amazon wish list. She sent me a picture of a book that's on her wish list. Art and Physics, Parallel Visions in Space, Time, and Light. I was like, yeah, I bought it.
Probably in your Amazon wish list already.
Not anymore. Bought it. Anyway, Simone's a work of art in herself. Oh, Simone was the one that, did I ever tell you about the king cake? Do you know what a king cake is?
No.
She sent me a cake.
Probably red velvet, though.
It's not. I've got a cake in the mail in a box. And she was like, eat this cake. So I was like, okay. So I eat the cake. Oh, yeah, okay. Jess has a picture of the king cake.
It's just an LGBT cake.
It's very colorful, but guess what's in it?
Oh.
A baby. There's a baby in it.
Oh. That's why they call it king cake. It's like royal. It's like Hollywood cake. It's elitist cake.
It's like a Republican senator's cake. No, it's got a little hard plastic baby in it, like a little tiny toy. And I found it in my mouth, and that was weird. But now the baby sits up here on my monitor and just stares at me all the time because it's a little gray baby, little gray one.
Wasn't when you first got it though, was it?
No, it was white.
Yeah.
But I decided I needed to neutralize the race so that it felt like it was every baby. So I made it gray.
It's actually called decomposition, but
graybabies.com. I'm going to go check and see if that's available. That's
the way she talks,
winner.
It makes me wonder if, because to me, when I speak, I sound clear and concise, but maybe it's got me paranoid that when I talk, although in my head I sound clear and concise, to everyone else I sound like that assistant coach in Waterboy, that you know, Bobby Boucher. And that's what I've been sounding like my whole life, and I just didn't know it.
Oh.
And I'm like the Rudy of podcasters. You got more voicemails?
What did he just say, Jess?
More voicemails. The segment that we're doing.
Sorry, Bobby. Hold on one sec. Yeah, I got one more. Got one more. This is another one. It's just got a date on it. So this is sent from somebody. Oh, I don't know. I don't have a name on it. So, all right, here we go.
Hi, I'm my name is Natasha, and I'm a longtime listener. I just listened to the Mother of All episodes where your mom was talking about having 5 kids and it being too much, and sometimes it's overwhelming. And I don't know, it just touched my heart. I wanted to send her a hug. We have 5 children as well, and I always called it dropping my basket. I drop my basket from time to time and have those moments where you just didn't think you could do it anymore. And it's very overwhelming. So I don't know. I just felt really, I could relate to your mom in that moment very well. And I just wanted to send her a hug if you would pass that along for me. Thank you. And I love the show. Keep up the good work, guys. I enjoy it very much. Hope y'all have a great day. And we'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.
You know, something interesting that I found about that Mother of All episodes when our mothers were on is all of the mothers really found common ground and related to your mother. And I was like, at first I took offense. I was like, what's wrong with my mother? And I realized nothing is wrong with my mother. It's just that all of the women that could relate to my mother don't have internet.
Yeah.
Either
weird
that
when you make those.
Or they're currently awaiting trial.
It's weird when a segment can define a demographic so well, isn't it? Crazy.
Or their burner phone. They can't call in because their burner phone was confiscated.
Or out of minutes.
I was going to call in, but my Obama phone, I liked when she was talking about getting hit. We had to choose this week, this month, between water and internet, and we still like a shower, and I cook a lot in a crock pot, so we chose the water. But I'll leave a message next week if my Bama phone.
Oh man.
One woman that does call in to leave a nice voicemail that relates to my mother, she's like 3 seconds into talking, and in the background you hear, "What do I goddamn tell you about getting on that phone, you fucking bitch?"
Gosh. Jeez.
So,
man.
I'm sick and tired of these slimy, sloppy eggs. You better start cooking them eggs a little better than what you cooking them, or I'm going to snap your fucking neck.
It's just wrong. Totally. Well, we've got hundreds of voicemails, so I figured maybe we'll pick that up at some point. And I know I'm not going to be able to please everybody. I get messages, people are like, never play a voicemail again. And then I get 4 that say, please, more voicemails. So that's why we're doing it as a segment, not as a whole show. Anyway, moving on. Hey, Kent.
What?
What you bring for us today?
I brought today up. Very excited. I brought a riveting story. It's a story. It has plot. It's got ups and downs. It's got.
I feel like what you're doing right now is what I do when I'm still Googling what I'm going to talk about.
It's got this fucking little beach ball that's spinning here. It's got ups and downs, probably, and highs and lows, and maybe even a character if it's fucking Vice website. 6 things found on the wall of old houses. Doesn't help me. We could go to space today. We might go to the depths of the ocean. 4 shipwrecks that will blow your mind. No. Today we are going to talk about something that I think will resonate with everybody if 6 times the Earth missed a comet. No, you gotta sign up to read the...
Everything that you're doing right now has literally happened on shows where I'm unprepared. Everything. I literally have signed up to access a website while I'm talking to read. I shouldn't be allowed to do this.
Today, we're talking about stuff
that's still happening,
going to be riveting. I hope you really... .com. On Wikipedia. So yeah, it's no, I'm joking. I'm joking. This is I'm actually really excited about this story. Today we're going to the 1800s up to Palisade, Nevada. And you ever heard of Palisade, Nevada?
No.
Well, it's a town that lies right on the Transcontinental Railroad. Do you know what the Transcontinental Railroad is?
Yes.
What was it?
A railroad that used to connect the east to the west.
Wrong. It was a railroad that both identified as east and west.
Correct.
We're going to Palisade, Nevada, the 1800s, and you're right. The Transcontinental Railroad was connected, and it was what a lot of Easterners used to go west. You know, we're talking about times with mining for gold, and we're going to the Wild West. Summer of 1877 is actually where this story starts. And I want to paint a picture for you, okay?
Okay.
You got this dusty little town. It's the Wild West 1800s. It's out in the desert beside some mountains. Everything you've ever seen in a movie, right? You got the old saloon, and there's a train, obviously the Transcontinental Railroad, so there's a train station, and you've got the post office, and in this town, what you're imagining in your head now is Palisade.
Is it Palisade?
It's Palisade. And
okay.
Don't read anymore. I see your app says focused. Turn it off.
I was file managing voice. I was file managing voicemails. Sorry, Jess.
So you've got Palisade. Not beautiful. It's old westy. Train pulls up right, full of people that are traveling for various reasons. Maybe they're going out west in hopes of finding gold, or maybe they're visiting family, or maybe they just murdered their entire family and they caved in their newborn infant's head with a hammer. and then they left it to be found by the people back in North Carolina, and they're on the run. And in the last town, they raped like 7 people, maybe even 8 people. They did a lot of rapes and did rapings, and then they just violated these people and entered their bodies without their permission. And,
Nobody does that.
Just scarred them for life. And 3 of them, many years down the road, went on and killed themselves because they couldn't deal with with feeling violated. It was the 6th time they've been violated that month. But this guy was really large. And I'm just making up. These are the characters that are on the train, right? This train pulls into Palisade, and they plan on getting off here for a few hours to explore this little small town, an 1800s layover, if you will.
They plan on what?
Getting off this train and exploring the small town of Palisade.
Yeah. Okay.
We're talking about an 1800s layover, kind of, right? Obviously, air travel hasn't been invented yet, so this is like an 1800s version of a layover. I forgot a few hours to blow. You could probably, stay on the train and keep. What are you laughing about? What do you keep?
You just said they're coming to rape people, and then you said that they're going to get off on the train, and then there's a layover, and they've got a couple hours to blow. Did you know you're doing? Are you intending?
You need to get your mind out of the gutter. This is a constant problem we have. You always go on these weird rants about oddly sexual things. It makes me uncomfortable, and I think it makes the audience uncomfortable. It makes Jess uncomfortable. She's actually adjusting her shirt the same way you do. When
you talk, I literally just have synonym.com open.
And I love cinnamon.
Synonym.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch, going back to cereal, probably my favorite cereal. Cinnamon Toast Toast Crunch.
SIN. It's a church website where when somebody says a bad word that you don't know, you can put it in and it explains what they're saying. So I'm just constantly... Please continue.
Okay, so this long black train, it pulls up to the stop at what? And this white, just long, it's huge, and it just comes to a.
It's a train.
It's a long black train. Yeah. And these white people are just riding it. They all trying to tell it.
It's really difficult.
It comes to a stop at the train station there. Those brakes hiss. And the white pours out, from the... You've seen the movies? What happens? All the white just shoots out, and it comes all over the sides. And... trying to paint a story here on your face.
You're doing.
So the train comes to a stop, and these people that are from the east and they're traveling west, they're looking for a little adventure, right? But the second they start to get off, some of them stay on. Shots ring out across the town, and they look. Some of them are looking through the windows of the train. Some of them are standing on the platform. They've realized they've got some incredibly poor timing because a shootout has just erupted. And it turns out that a group of men have just robbed a bank in town and are currently trying to fight their way out on horseback. This is just like Young Guns or others movies like Young Guns.
Yeah.
Young Guns 2. Let me see something real quick. Hold on, just pause that thought. Did they
make a Young Guns 3?
A Young Guns 3.
Oh, that's what you're asking. Okay. Great minds
While
think
progress
alike.
on Young Guns 3 has been slow moving, Lou Diamond Phillips says that the project is still in development. So they're making it's like what's going to be Young Guns 3 and just other movies like Young Guns. That's what they're seeing here. It's crazy.
Okay. Yeah.
Men are falling left and right. There's blood everywhere. Women and children are crying. The wounded are being dragged off into alleyways to be treated. The ones that are dead are left there for dead. All these travelers, they quickly hop back on the train and get the fuck out of there. And the ones that can't, that are stuck, they just hide behind stuff. And this was exciting for them because despite the fact that we all think everybody in the 1800s lived in the Old West or actually saw the Old West, right? That's not really the case. It was few and far between where this idea, these places of the Old West that we see in movies, but there was dime store novels and stuff about them. They were aware of it, and they wanted to experience that. And this was
sort of like going to Disneyland.
Yeah, in a way. And in the 1800s, Palisade, Nevada was considered one of, if not the most violent place in America. Like I said, it was located on the Central Pacific Railroad. It was just known throughout the United States for bloodshed, violence, and shootouts. And, people wanted to experience that. They rarely encountered it. They, like I said, read about it. And then the train riders, they would go and experience this in Palisade and take those stories of the real Wild West back to home and spread it. And the town gained a reputation for being dangerous and a place where if you've got a little bit of thrill seeking in you, you want to see some real outlaws, some real Wild West shit, go to Palisade. And because of that, Palisade's economy was booming. And newspapers began reporting Palisade as being home to nothing but slayings, gunfights, murder, barroom brawls, cowboys and Indians, and booze and fights and debauchery and everything. But here's the thing, that the newspapers and the travelers just passing through didn't know. It was all fake.
No, from the get-go?
Every bit of it was fake. Every single bit of it was staged. Palisade, Nevada is considered by many historians to be the first theme park.
Really?
Palisade, Nevada, in reality, was such a safe place to live that it didn't even have a sheriff.
Even Disney shows have sheriffs.
Yeah. Even Mayberry had a sheriff. His name was Andy. I don't remember his last name. But life in Palisade was actually between trains rolling up. Life in Palisade was incredibly boring and quiet. It was just a mining town. And to cure that boredom and maybe boost some tourism, the citizens of Palisade concocted quite possibly one of the most hilarious and successful hoaxes ever. We're going to make this place dangerous to outsiders. And like I said, most citizens of the USA had never experienced the Wild West that they had heard about. So the citizens of Palisade, hey, let's give them that. So when the train rolled up, the citizens of Palisade would take their places and get into character. Keep in mind, nobody outside of the citizens of Palisade knew this was fake.
Oh, that is genius.
The first staged confrontation in Palisade was between a man named Frank West, this was their characters' names, and a man named Alvin Kittleby. And they had a script and everything. So when the people jumped off the plane, Alvin confronted Frank and said, quote, this is the actual quote from the first confrontation that was planned. "There you are, you low-down polecat. I've been a-waiting for you. And I'm a-gonna kill you because of what you did to my sister." Unquote.
I thought the quote would go something like, "Holy crap, did you see that plane just land in our town?" Because you said that they jumped off a plane.
Nobody said that.
Yeah, you did.
Did I say plane?
Yeah.
That's where a translator would come in. Because in my head, I said train.
We know. It's okay.
Now, this little skit kicked off the quote-unquote murder of Frank West. Everybody in all these altercations and fake bank robberies and all of this stuff, they were shooting blanks. It was just powder, no ball. They did actually use real blood from the local slaughterhouse, though, gallons and gallons and gallons of cow blood.
Wow.
Staged duels So they'd wait for a train to roll up. They'd put two people out in the dirt street, and at the strike of noon, they'd have a fake duel. That began in autumn of 1876. Visitors, like I said, they'd run and hide or quickly get back on the train and watch from the windows. Things got crazier and crazier from there. They started staging hangings, duels, like I said, more bank robberies. Occasionally, the members of the local Native American Shoshone tribe they would even get involved and join in, and they would fake Native American attacks that included fake scalpings.
No way.
Yes.
What?
Everybody in town was in on it. The women would pretend to cry over the corpses of their not dead but pretend dead husbands. Children would cry. Men would carry the quote-unquote dead bodies off. And because of these staged performances, the visitors of Palisade, Nevada thought they had found real-life Wild West town. And the word spread, and because of this, Palisade's economy fucking boomed.
Wow.
And
that's amazing.
Only people that knew none of it was real were the citizens.
I don't think you could even do that today. Well, you could. Here's how I
be on Reddit. Some little fucking nerd would run his mouth. It's all fake. Also, the guy that plays the robber in Act 3, he said the N-word one time on Twitter back in 2014.
And he was part of the January 6th insurrection. They'd go all out. Actually, I think this is how this would be a fun prank. So you move to a new town and you take your 7-year-old to school and you walk them in and, you're registering them, getting them ready for class, and then just gunfire breaks out in the school and there's dead kids in the hall.
Yeah.
And everything. And then they're like, just kidding. And then they take you through like a back door to the actual school
where there's actually somebody shooting it up.
Steals their resolve that everything's going to be all right. Safety first. That's amazing. That's crazy.
I wish Palisades.
Probably said Palisade.
I wish it had a happy ending, but the town was fine for many, many years, many decades. But a combination of floods and the decline of the mining industry eventually brought Palisade down in the 1960s, which is a good run. That's a good run because all this was going on in the mid to late 1800s. So they had a run of about 100 years, but for a moment, Palisade was where it was happening. This little nothing town in the middle of nowhere was where it was at. It's a ghost town now. I
think that kind of a thing would actually kind of find resurgence at different generations. So can you imagine 40s and the 1940s and 50s? You've got all those little buckaroos who want to, play cowboys and Indians all the time. They'd be begging their parents to take them there,
Yeah.
So I'll bet you it saw an upswing in the 40s and 50s. And then the 60s, nobody wanted war or conflict, so I could see why it died.
It's got me thinking, what if Columbine was like Palisade?
Yeah,
we really need something to bring some national light to our town. Let's make school shootings popular.
What if we did this is a good idea. I think because it'd be educational too. What if we had a theme park and the whole theme was like tragedies? Like the King Kong ride that you can do at some theme park somewhere where when he screams at you and you're in your seat, you smell bananas. What if the theme park were just like absolute atrocities that have happened where you're part of Mao Zedong's Great Leap Forward that killed 42 million people, or, you're in a school shooting, or you're on the 48th floor, 82nd floor of one of the Twin Towers.
All the floors eventually.
Shit. Sorry. I never thought of it that way. Seriously. Oh, wow. That stung.
That would be fun if those golf things where it's like a fake golf thing where they're inside a facility and they're hitting the golf balls into a giant screen.
Yeah.
It would be cool to, if like as a theme park ride, what floor was it that the plane hit?
It was like, well, there were 2 planes and 2 buildings, and it hit really pretty high up.
Let's say it was the 100th floor. They do a remake in a room of the 100th floor, and the screen is that set of windows, and you get to shoot down the planes keep trying to hit the room, and you've got a gun, and you get to keep shooting down planes.
It's like Galaga.
Or even you've got a golf ball. You just hit golf balls at...
At the beginning, it's like, welcome, who are you? And it's like, I'm a CEO. And then they just hand you a golf club.
Yeah. But you've got to hit airplanes as they try to keep flying into the World Trade Center.
That's fun. The Gulf of, we'd call it the Gulf of Mexico.
Perfect.
Is there a Gulf? Is there a Gulf in the Middle East?
No, I don't think so.
If there was, we could use the word golf and something about the Middle East. We'll keep working on it.
What'd you bring today, Op?
Grab your coffee, strap on, and lend in earballs, because today we're stepping into a real life crime scene. Just like yours, except for this one's bigger, scarier,
and real,
and more sci-fi than anything we've ever tackled on this podcast. Trust me, though, this is no fiction. It's a down-to-earth whodunit wrapped in a radiation-filled, government secret-filled, double, triple layer, Ziploc baggied Russian doll that's American. Picture this, if you will. It's 1945, and in the middle of the New Mexico desert, where the world's first atomic bomb, codenamed, let's all say it together, Trinity, that's right, leaves
Trinity.
more than just a historical mushroom cloud. It leaves a legacy, and we're not talking about bragging rights here. We are talking about something that is much grimmer. Is grimmer a word?
I think it's actually Grimer.
Much grimer.
She's popular in Russia.
It's the Russian milkshake you get when you go to McDonald's right now.
Oh, I was thinking of Brittany Griner. I'm sorry. Never mind.
Oh. Fallout. That's what's much grimer. No, not like your uncle's feud after too much eggnog at Christmas. This Fallout's the radioactive kind. Now, meet the folks who lived around the Trinity test site, because believe it or not, for some reason we could create a nuclear bomb, but we didn't really think about that maybe we shouldn't set them off around actual people's towns.
And this sounds like the perfect place to be a harbinger of doom.
For about 6 minutes.
Oh, I'm talking 100 years later, when all the radiation has affected the locals and it's all wrong turnish.
You're going to enjoy the rest of this story if you think that, because these weren't scientists in lab coats. They're just everyday people like you and me, maybe a little more adept to living in society and actually had jobs and didn't have accents and didn't make regrettable choices, but they were like you and me otherwise. How about our friend Tina Cordova? Not related to the Cordova shoe shine stuff you can get to shine your shoes, but close. She's one of the people that lived there. Over time, a strange plague seemed to sweep through the communities there. People started falling sick, and we're not talking about the common cold or the common flu. We're talking about the big, scary C word.
Cunt.
Cancer. It hit Tina's family hard, like a black train out of nowhere. Her grandfathers, both grandmothers, mother, father, it's like they all drew the shortest straws in the history of straw drawing. Cancer hit all of them. Then there was another woman, Barbara Kent, no relation to
Clark
the
Kent.
cheap cigarette brand.
Oh.
As a kid, she and her summer camp buddies used to play with the fallout, actually. Just thinking it was some harmless dust. Fast forward a couple of decades.
Unlike
guess
these
what?
kids today, bunch of pussies. Boomers
Fast
be
forward.
like, when I was a kid, we played with nuclear fallout and walked to school barefoot both ways until we got cancer in our toes. And then we didn't bitch about it, protest. We just ate more fallout. The way God intended.
So yeah, back then, they'd use everything to market this radioactive stuff. Like, they'd cut their summer camp was called Glowing Ground Summer Camp. So they'd all play with the dust during the day and then just lay in the dust at night as it glowed through their faces. Fast forward a couple decades, and guess what? All of her camp buddies have been picked off by cancer. Barbara herself fights
wolves.
off a few. That'd be weird, wouldn't it?
Yeah, this didn't have anything to do with the nuclear testing.
Every single one of them.
It's a roving pack of detective wolves.
Who got their training from the roving pack of independent contracting bloodhounds.
That actually helped catch Robert Garrow.
That's right. That's right. See the latest episode of True Crime Ken if you don't know what we're talking about there. Here's where things get pretty dicey, though. Uncle Sam did offer some apologies here. So they offered $50,000 checks to the so-called, quote, downwinders around the Nevada test site. But what about our downwinders in New Mexico living in the shadow of Trinity? What did they get? If you guessed zilch, you'd be spot on. Even when the Compensation Act, known as RICA, got revamped in the year 2000, the Trinity downwinders were left high and dry. But one man standing up for them, Senator Ben Ray Lujan, a New Mexico native, is fighting tooth and nail, at least the teeth and the nails that he has left after the fallout, to get these folks the compensation that they deserve. But the clock is ticking because they keep dying. Now, here's a plot twist for you. Tina Cordova and her fellow downwinders didn't even know about the RICA Act to compensate people until years after it had passed. Can you imagine? Well, she did what any hero in a crime story does. She just took matters into her own hands. Tina started the Tularosa Basin Downwinders Consortium, and the stories they heard would make your heart stand on end. Every single person had a tale of health problems that reeked of radiation exposure. Now we'll let Tina herself have the final say. She says, quote, America poisoned its own citizens and it's been looking the other way. They can never say they didn't know ahead of time that radiation was harmful or that there was going to be fallout. They were depending on us to be unsophisticated, uneducated, and unable to stand up for ourselves. And on that bombshell, we're going to wrap up this story. But remember, folks, this isn't just another episode for you to enjoy your commute. It's real life. It's true crime.
Yeah.
And it's an ongoing struggle for justice. Help us in our battle to fight the powers of justice.
You know, when, and I can kind of relate to this story because I remember growing up in a trailer and having box AC units that sit in the window. On Thanksgiving, my uncle, he would eat like always way too much cranberry stuff. And it would fuck his stomach up. And then he would sit in the chair in front of the AC unit. And we called everybody that wasn't my uncle downwinders.
Gross. That'd be hard to smell because when you get a cranberry fart smell, something about the top note makes you want to breathe it in for a second.
Yeah, and to really bring this all together, it ended up just being stomach cancer. Doesn't have anything to do with the cranberries at all.
Dang it.
He was also lactose intolerant.
How many toes did he have?
Indian style playing Contra. And fucking inside of your nose starts stinging. Turn around and look at Uncle, and he's grinning a little bit, playing with himself, just being the life of a downwinder. I think it was a sexual thing.
Gross. Oh my gosh. Well,
that's perfect for my story of Palisade.
This episode was brought to you by 1159 Media. If you're accidentally here, still? What? Not possible, right? There's no way you accidentally are still listening. If you like more of what we do a lot of stuff at 1159plus.com. Kent has a show, or 7. I have one show that's limping along. We've got a lot in the works. Will it ever happen? Probably not. Suck it, time management.
This episode also brought to you by Ocean Spray Cranberry Sauce. If you'd rather a cranberry condiment that almost makes you pucker, Ocean Spray's whole berry sauce is the best option for you. This luscious sauce with big chunks of berries lets the cranberry's tartness shine without being unpleasantly sour. Once again, that's Ocean Spray Cranberry Sauce.
Hugs, everybody.
And good fucking bye.